Welcome back. The California GOP is holding its fall 2025 convention and leadership summit this weekend. On the agenda, Gavin Newsom's redistricting effort here in the Golden State. So how do Republicans plan on fighting back? Los Angeles County GOP Chairwoman Roxanne Hogue joins me now live from the convention. Hi, Roxanne. It's so good to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Of course, Anita. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So a lot of things on the agenda for you this weekend, but, one of the big topics is the fight against Proposition 50. That's Gavin Newsom's redistricting effort. And, let's be honest, they've raised a lot of money. As of September 4th, I'm sure you know, they've raised $41 million. And the famed Cook report says if they get this passed in California, then the Democrats have a fairly good chance. They should be fairly optimistic about retaking the House. So how do you fight back against this?
Well, first of all, what they're doing is opening Pandora's box. So yes, if they pass it, they will have succeeded in unlocking that box. But the rest of the story is, of course, that you unleash the whirlwind. And so there are other states in this country that will respond. But as for California, what's going on is that Californians fundamentally don't like unfairness. And that's what Prop 50 is. This isn't even a partisan issue. This is about things that make sense and don't make sense. And if your community gets split into 5 different congressional districts, that means that your community has no representation in Congress. And that's what the Democrats are trying to do.
Well, yes. I mean, they would be literally, if it passes, taking the process of redistricting out of the hands of a nonpartisan commission and handing it over to the very blue supermajority California legislature to draw the lines, right?
Well, it's worse than that, Anita. They actually really handed the keys to the kingdom over not to the legislature, but to the DCCC in D.C., who hired a consultant who is PDI, Paul Mitchell of PDI, and they drew those maps in secret and hand them completely gift wrapped to what passes for our legislature in Sacramento. So the lines are drawn. They've already made the decision, and they're trying to confuse California voters and say that this will happen. It's happened already.
Well, and what's at stake? At least 5 Republican congressional districts?
Yes, they think that 5 congressional districts are at stake, but what's really at stake is fairness and the standing of the California Constitution. The Independent District Redistricting Commission was voted on by citizens overwhelmingly and then became part of the California Constitution. They want to upend that. They say it's temporary, but they also said if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. So.
Yep, they did say that. All right, well, moving on, you guys are also going to discuss voter ID. President Trump wants to mandate voter IDs, and he says he will do it through executive order. You have to show an ID for everything. To get on a plane, you have to show an ID to get your vaccine. I have to show an ID to get into my daughter's school. I'm not sure why it's so controversial to show your ID to vote, but what do you think is going to happen?
You have to show an ID to get into a political party convention, both Democrat and Republican. And as a naturalized U.S. citizen, the first time I went to vote, I was horrified that no one wanted to see my ID. I couldn't believe that I had this momentous thing happen to me and no one cared that I was who I say I was. The one caveat I will say to an executive order doing it is that sadly, California will do what they always do and say, okay, we'll only apply that to federal elections. And then they'll run the same loosey-goosey systems that they do for our local and municipal ones. So I think it's really important that citizens get out and support the voter ID initiative, which we are.
Yeah. Well, we will see what happens there. Just quickly, midterms, 2026 midterms, they're just over a year away. We know enthusiasm is generally not as high as a presidential election. Just a quick line, tell us, how is your party preparing to turn out the vote?
Well, we're turning out the vote by letting people know, certainly in California, where we have a vast plurality of the country's voters, that your vote matters, is that even in California, it's really important to get out and vote. And what everyone can see with their own 2 eyes is that right now the country's on the road to recovery, and switching houses midstream will take us on the road to ruin.
All right. Roxanne Hogue, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and I hope you enjoy the convention this weekend.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.